Everybody's attention in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. Today we're going to be learning about what's called a Venn diagram. Okay, so what the purpose of this Venn diagram is you're going to do comparing and contrasting of a couple of different subjects, and you're going to see what's different about them and what's the same about them. And what a Venn diagram does is it puts it into a nice little package for you, so you can have that when you write your papers. Okay. So I'm going to do a Venn diagram up here. I'm going to show you how it works, and then we're going to do one together as a group, and then you guys are going to get into pairs, and you guys are going to work on one by yourselves. Okay? How's that sound? Is everybody excited for this? Yeah. Venn diagram. It's going to change your life. All right. So my subjects are going to be, one is going to be football, and the other one is going to be soccer. Okay, so I'm given the task of comparing and contrasting American football and soccer. Okay, so sometimes you hear football in Europe is also, that's what we call soccer, and football here in America is spelled a little bit differently. But what we're going to do for today is just concentrate on the American side. So we're just going to look at what's different about it and then what's the same. So I'm given this task of doing this. Okay, so I have to think. So I put on my thinking cap. I'm like, what do I know about football right off the bat that's different from soccer? Well, they have a lot of pads. So I'm going to say they put a lot of pads and helmets on. You don't need to fill this out just yet. We're going to do one together in just a second, okay? So I'm going to say a lot of pads. And think about what else is different about that. So it's a little bit different is they have a different kind of ball. It's a little bit different shaped ball. So I'm going to put a different shaped ball. What else is different about it? With that ball, they tend to keep the ball in football usually up off the ground. They don't want it to be on the ground. They want it to be in the air when they pass and catch, right? Hand it off. What happens if it hits the ground? It's like a fumble, and that changes the game. It usually stops the game or somebody gets the ball back, right? So I'm going to put over here, ball stays in air. Okay, so now I'm thinking about soccer. So they don't really use pads. They use kind of a couple little pads. They're called shin guards, but they're not the big shoulder pads and knee pads and elbow pads. So I'm just going to put no pads or little pads. Thank you. Good. If you have a question, you can raise your hand, okay? That'd be awesome. So what else is different about that? So they keep the ball on the ground for the most part. They're using their feet a lot. So ball on the ground. And what else I got to think about? What else do they do that's different from there? The scoring is a little bit different from football and soccer. So scoring by ones, and so I got to think they score by ones. Okay, football scores by they can score 1, 2, 3, or 6 points, and they have a whole different type of scoring system. So that's how they different. So what would I know that's the same about football and soccer? They're both timed. They both have a time limit that goes on. They're both timed. Yeah, start to think of what else is the same. Both teams usually have 11 players on each side. So I know that about football and soccer, that there's usually 11 players on each side. What else do I know about that? Both of them have coaches. There's usually a head coach and some other coaches. And they're both really popular in America and throughout the world, but here in America, soccer and football are pretty popular sports, right? So I'm going to put that in the same. So now I kind of look at what I have here and I'm like, okay, so football has pads, they use a different ball, the ball tends to stay in the air, the scoring is by 1s, 2s, 3s, or 6 points. Soccer doesn't have pads or little pads. They keep the ball in the ground, and they score by 1 point. If you get a goal, it's 1 point, right? So that's what's different about those. But when you're watching the games, they're vastly different also, right? With football, they start and stop, and with soccer, they just pretty much keep going until the ball goes out of bounds. It can go either way. There's offense and defense on both, but the offense for soccer has the ball, and that can change just about any time. Where the offense in football, they're just going to hang on to the ball and keep going. Okay, so this is why we use a Venn diagram. Is we're trying to find out what's different on each side and what's the same, so we can compare and contrast. Does that all make sense? You guys have any questions so far? Nothing? All right, so we're going to do one together. I'm going to flip the board over here. Some high technology here, so be careful.
You might want to move that.
Oh, good catch. Good catch. What would have happened there? Tumbled out. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to compare sharks and dolphins, okay? So what do we have on each side of our bubbles of the Venn diagram on the other page? Liberty.
Lines.
They have lines. That's good. Taylor?
Do we write this down?
Yeah, you guys are actually gonna come up and help me fill this one out up here on the board. So we'll start it off together, and then we'll have somebody come up and we'll start filling in these lines together, okay? And I'll help you out. So what did we have that was over here on the side of the bubble? What do we have that's here for sharks? We're gonna put what's what? Go ahead.
Different.
Right, what's different, right? And on the other side over here with dolphins, we're going to put same thing as that side, different, right? So what goes here in the middle where they intertwine? What do you think, Lane?
The same.
The same, right? So they're going to be the same in the middle. Okay, so let's put our thinking caps on and start to think of what we know about sharks and what we know about dolphins. Okay, and when you're ready, raise your hand. You come up here and you can write on either side or in the middle. Okay, you ready, Liberty? Yeah, come on up. So we got sharks over here. Yep. Let's say it. Go ahead. Aquatic animals. Good job. So you can just put water animals if you want. Aquatic's a big word. We'll learn how to spell that.
Or fish.
Are they both fish? Put your thinking cap on.
Oh, dolphins are animals.
Just water animals. Awesome. Thank you so much. So that's the same. Does anybody have something that's different about sharks and different about dolphins? I think I heard it when you guys were talking amongst each other. What's a difference what makes a dolphin different from a shark? You want to come and write it, Lane? You want me to write it for you? I can do that. That's absolutely okay. So what's different? Which side do you want me on? The sharks or the dolphins? Dolphin side. What's different that makes a shark different?
Mammals.
Mammals, right? They breathe air. Okay, cool. Anybody want to come up and write something that's different about a dolphin? Come on up.
Wait, can it be a shark?
I mean, sorry, about a shark. Yes. Scary. Yeah, dolphin. I mean, sharks can be a little bit scary, right? So what else is different? So we noticed that a dolphin is a mammal. So what would we put it different on the side for shark? What would it be? What do you think, Lane? If dolphin's a mammal, what do you think a shark is? Fish, right? So it's a fish. Then we put on our thinking caps and we're like, okay, so what makes fish different from mammals? What do they do? Where's their young come from? Where do they have their babies? What do you think fish do? Go ahead, Liberty.
Fish, they lay eggs.
Fish lay eggs. So does that go on the shark side or the dolphin side?
Shark.
Shark side, because shark is a fish, right? So lays eggs. So if that's different about a shark, that a shark lays eggs, what are we going to put over here for the dolphins? What do they do? What? Don't lay eggs? Exactly. So they give what? Liberty, do you know?
They just have babies instead of eggs.
Right. So what do we call that is live birth, right? They give live birth. Okay, so let's think about what else is the same about those guys. So we got that they're water animals. How about you, Lola? What's the same about them? They live in the water. What do they eat? What do you think they both eat? You want to help her out, Lane? What do both sharks and dolphins eat? Fish. They both eat fish. So, fish eaters. Okay, so we've got different. Sharks are scary. They lay eggs. They are fish. Dolphins are different because they're mammals. They give live birth. Oh, all our hands are up now. Let's start with Taylor.
Well, I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
If they both eat fish and a shark is a fish, would a dolphin eat a shark?
I don't know. What do you think? They are scary. You think a dolphin's going to go after a shark, or do you think they're going to go after maybe a littler fish? Probably a littler fish. Lane?
They both have tails.
Both have tails. And what? What's another part of the fish anatomy? Can I go to Liberty and I'll come right back to you, Lola? Liberty.
They have fins.
Fins, right? So tails, fins. Okay. And Lane, did you have one, or is that what? Did she steal your answer?
Yeah.
That's right, because you guys are thinking. You guys are on the same wavelength now. That's good. Lola.
Well, this is for the dolphin side.
Mm-hmm.
The dolphins have a breathing.
A blowhole, right? So they do have a blowhole because they breathe air. Okay, so if... Go ahead, Liberty.
Some sharks are friendly like dolphins.
Some sharks are what?
Friendly like dolphins.
Some sharks are friendly like dolphins. Okay, they could be friendly. I don't know if I would want to find that out. I might want to try to find that out in a cage, or maybe look at them through a piece of glass. I might be okay with going over to a dolphin and maybe petting it. Shark, I might be a little hesitant on that. They got some pretty nasty looking teeth. But I think your point is valid. That could be something that could be the same. They could be friendly. There might be friendly sharks. Who knows? Maybe good. Friendly. I think you would need to back that up. You'd have to find the friendly shark. Maybe on Shark Tales or something like that. Lola?
Well, this is for the same section. They both vary in size. They both don't just have like one typical size. Like there's gonna be a white shark,
Yep.
and then a little tiny shark.
Right.
And like there's a really long dolphin or just baby dolphin.
Right, so they vary, and if there's hammerhead sharks, like you said, there's different dolphins, and they're not all the same, so they're different, right? Or they differ. Cool. So what we got now is we brainstormed some ideas. We found out they do have a lot that is the same. We do see that there is some different. We might need a little bit more on both sides just to go ahead and make our points. But let's go ahead and get into pairs. And we are going to do one together in a group. I'm going to come by and check your work. And so you guys can discuss it right now between yourselves. What two subjects that are similar but different that you want to talk about. So you can pick a little bit of a variety, and then we'll go ahead and fill these out, okay? That sound good?